You know who's pouring into America over the past 35 years? It isn't Muslims. It's Chinese, Indians, Mexicans, Northern Triangle, Venezuelans. That's the lion's share of immigration. Period. End of story. The reason they want us to hate Muslims is because Jews are fighting Muslims in the Middle East. And as long as we think Muslims are our problem...
People don't know this, but the Muslim world didn't hate America until after Israel was created. The reason the Arab Muslims have a problem with us is not because of our freedom or because we're Christian. It's because of our unconditional support for Israel.
Charlie Kirk says Islam is taking over America. There's no Muslim takeover of America. There's a Jewish takeover of America, obviously. What do you call it when most of Congress is paid by AIPAC? What do you call it when the biggest donors, like Miriam Adelson, are in the pocket of Israel? What do you call it when Mike Waltz, our national security advisor, is working for Netanyahu directly? You're talking about a Muslim takeover? It's a Jewish takeover. It's ridiculous. I can't even stand it anymore. They buried the Epstein files. They bombed Iran. While both the United States and Israel frequently claim that Hamas has stolen massive amounts of aid supplies that have entered Gaza, neither government has evidence to back up that assertion. That's according to reports from the New York Times and Reuters. Israeli military officials who said the Israeli military never found proof that Hamas stolen aid from the United Nations. So this is Reuters and the New York Times citing U.S. intelligence assessments and even anonymous Israeli military officials. They all say there is zero evidence of this claim. Charlie Kirk brings on a rabbi and they say, oy vey, Hamas is taking the aid. That is a lie. They made that up. That is a lie. That is a typical lie. That is their go-to lie that they use for everything. Whenever they are accused of something, they blame Hamas. They blame the Muslims. They blame the terrorists. It's always the terrorists. Just like everything else, by the way. Have you noticed that that's sort of a pattern? When October 7th happened, Israelis said Hamas is putting babies in ovens and cutting their heads off and raping everybody. Zero evidence. Never happened. That was the basis for the whole war. That was the basis for $30 billion in aid. No evidence. Never happened. They made it up. They said they had to shut down the UNHRC. They had to shut down some of the UN programs distributing aid. They said because those UN programs were working with Hamas. And the European Union and the United States stopped funding those groups because of those claims. Those claims were investigated, and it turned out to be a lie. The Israelis had no proof. So there's no proof of mass sexual assaults, no proof of beheaded babies, no proof of babies in ovens, no proof that the UN organizations were working with Hamas. On the flip side, when Israel kills children in a school, or in a residential area, they say, well, Hamas is using them as human shields. When they destroy 90% of the roads and 70% of the buildings, they say, well, Hamas made us do it. And they kill 50,000 women and children. Hamas made us do it. Every one of those children was killed by us because of Hamas. 2 million people are starving to death. They're hungry. Children are hungry. And they say, well, Hamas is taking the aid. No evidence. No proof.